all across America. The ICE agents in Boston are doing their best to keep the streets safe. They nabbed 4 alleged child rapists and a suspected MS-13 gang member from 5 different countries just yesterday. Bill Melugin was along for the bus, but first let's get to Casey Steele. He's in El Paso, Texas, where smugglers are helping dangerous gang members sneak into the country. What have you learned, Casey?
Well, Dan, it's been a busy week for Texas DPS out here along the southern border over in Kinney County, which is about 450 miles to the southeast of where we are here in El Paso. A trooper tried initiating a traffic stop and then discovered a migrant from Mexico inside who had her 2-year-old daughter in tow. They were turned over to Border Patrol. The driver and passenger, both Texas residents, were arrested for smuggling. While in Eagle Pass yesterday, DPS located 11 unaccompanied minors from Honduras who had illegally crossed the Rio Grande River. All were 15 and 16 years old, traveling alone. And in the El Paso sector, Border Patrol agents busted a stash house containing 10 migrants, one of whom the feds say was a dangerous gang member who had been in the U.S. before because he's being prosecuted for felony re-entry into the country.
So the human smuggling organizations, they make the deal with the drug cartels, and then the drug cartel leadership is going to determine where they're going to cross it, depending on where the drugs are and what drugs they need to cross.
Also this week over in Las Cruces, New Mexico, agents found 4 migrants tucked away in a tractor trailer, attempting to be smuggled into the homeland. In this one sector alone, 7 trailers containing non-U.S. citizens have been busted since the start of this fiscal year. Dana.
Okay, Casey Steele in Texas. Thank you.
So you mentioned this, Dana. I want to get to an hourly immigration team making a major bust, taking down 5 alleged migrant criminals, and they did it while working around sanctuary city policies. Bill Melugin embedded with that team in Boston. He's got the story now. Bill, what you learned? Hello.
Hey, Bill, good morning to you. ICE says because of sanctuary policies here in Massachusetts, illegal aliens charged with heinous crimes are essentially able to roam the streets after release without any notice. And we were with ICE as they took down 4 alleged child rapists and an MS-13 gang member, all in a single morning.
Any questions, you can talk to the team leaders.
It's the pre-dawn hours in Boston.
Kid has a no violent history.
And this elite team of ICE deportation officers is briefing on their target list for the day. Illegal aliens charged with egregious crimes.
All the targets today, every single one of them is an aggravated felony here in the Commonwealth. So these are really the cases that are the worst of the worst here in Massachusetts.
ICE quickly takes down its first target, an illegal alien from Guatemala, charged with aggravated child rape. Minutes later, ICE arrests a Colombian national, charged with the rape of a child above age 14.
I don't have enough officers or resources to tackle every one of these public safety threats. Are we going after the child rapist today, or are we going to go after that 2 times deported fentanyl dealer? Because we can't get both.
ICE's next arrest, a combative MS-13 gang member from El Salvador, charged with a slew of violent crimes. Officers then arrested this Brazilian man, charged with 5 counts of aggravated rape of a child.
How are you guys not notified about a child rapist being released?
Unfortunately, in Massachusetts, that's how it is with most of these sanctuary jurisdictions.
A short time later, ICE took down their final target, a Brazilian gang member, also charged with child rape. Just this morning today, 4 accused child rapists and 1 MS-13 gang member. Those are the kind of people you're going after.
That's every day up here in Boston. Those are the public safety threats that we really want to get off the street. It was a great day for the team. There's 5 public safety threats that are in the community going to go ahead and victimize anyone else.
And ICE says all of those arrests you just saw happen because local authorities ignored their detainer request to keep these guys in custody due to sanctuary policies. ICE says all of those suspects will remain in federal custody until their local charges are resolved. Then ICE will seek to deport every single one of them.
And making a point of doing it in a city like Boston with the sanctuary policies in place. Really intriguing stuff, Bill. We'll see what comes of it next. Thank you. Bill Melugin in Boston.
Illusion got the chance to ride along with ICE officers in LA as they track down dangerous criminal aliens. Bill?
Well, Judge, because of sanctuary policies here in California, ICE essentially has to work alone when they go after dangerous criminal aliens here in the streets of LA. We embedded with ICE as they removed 3 convicted felons off the streets. It's 4 a.m. in Los Angeles, and this team of ICE deportation officers is briefing on their targets for the day. Drug traffickers with lengthy criminal histories. The first target, a Mexican woman previously convicted of trafficking opioids in LA.
She was selling these opioids from a smaller shop in one of the local areas and distributing it to the minors.
After surveilling the area, she spotted leaving her home in a pickup truck. ICE officers swarmed the street, pulled the woman over, and arrested her. ICE says she's a convicted felon who has already been deported from the U.S. 4 times. During her intake, ICE found thousands of dollars in cash on her. The convicted felon that ICE just arrested is behind me being processed and booked right now, and ICE tells us because of her criminal history, she could be deported as soon as tonight. Moments later, ICE officers bring in another convicted felon they just arrested, a Mexican man with convictions for trafficking meth and domestic violence.
These sanctuary policies, unfortunately, our detainees are not being honored. It is frustrating.
Do you guys have any presence at the jail whatsoever?
No.
And ICE blames those sanctuary policies for having to arrest this 3rd felon of the day. He was previously convicted of trafficking meth and being a felon in possession of a gun. And ICE says he was released without notice after local authorities ignored their request to hold him. Sanctuary policies?
Sanctuary policies, detainer not honored.
ICE says their LA officers arrested over 3,000 criminal non-citizens in fiscal year 2023, including 249 suspected gang members. With limited manpower, their priority is public safety threats.
The sex offenders, the child molesters, the drug traffickers, that misconception that we're out there indiscriminately conducting raids at checkpoints, that's just simply far from the truth.
And Judge, ICE says they are frequently arresting illegal aliens who have already been deported from the U.S. before, sometimes deported multiple times. Under U.S. law, illegal reentry is a felony punishable with prison time. And ICE says they'd like federal prosecutors to start imposing more consequences for these repeat crossers.